I just calibrated it. Had a heck of a time. These stupid irons anymore have got this sensors in them so that when they are not moving, it shuts them off. I got the iron set hopefully about 220 degrees, a little over 200 degrees. I'm going to try to shrink this fabric here a little bit so it comes around this wingtip bow and the curve. Nice and smooth. You got to leave enough fabric on this cover right here so that when you come around to straighten this out, you got enough to pull on it to get it to and to shrink it so that you'll be able to pull on it, shrink, so on, so forth, to get it to conform to the bow. That's not too bad. That's coming pretty good, I think. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Now, I guess I got to get ready to glue it on there again now. Take everything up. We'll glue around this wood here and get this glued on here. And then I'll come along and cut this off and tuck it down in behind here and glue it onto the back side of this bow. So we'll glue it on the front first. On the bow, on the wood itself first. So I guess I got to get ready and get my stuff together again. I've been Okay, we'll let that thing set up like that a little bit. Go ahead and make a mark on the fabric around there and cut it off. In fact, I think I'll go ahead and seize that fabric right there. I'm just gonna rub this thin. It's not real thin, but some polytack here around this inside perimeter of this wingtip bow on the fabric, so that I can go ahead and mark it with a pencil. It'll be easier to mark and cut, and then everything's all set up. We'll cut this and tuck it down and glue it in on the inside of that bow. We'll let all this cure, all this set up a little while, and then I'll go ahead and make a mark around here. So we've got 5/8 of an inch wide on this bow here, from here up to where it meets up with a rear spar, and then an inch all the way around. So I'll get a pencil and mark that all the way around there like that, and then cut it to fit, and then I'll take and glue that onto the backside of that wingtip bow. That way it's wrapped fully around, and they want a minimum of an inch contact for any glue up seam like that, or any glue up like that. So by wrapping that around there, I've actually got an inch here on the outside of this as it is now, but only 5/8. Probably, if you take all this consideration into the radius, it's probably more than an inch there. It's not going to hurt anything. It's going to make it that much better if I go ahead and glue that, tuck that down in behind here, and glue that in there on the back side of that bow. And then the top fabric will come over this and go over around that bow, and it'll be on the outside of this just a little bit, so there'll be a seam there like that. So, all right, we'll let this set up, and then I got to go over all of this with the iron and get it all, make sure it's all smoothed out, and it's not too bad. Here on this false spar, I cut this and marked it and everything, and cut it to be the full width of the false spar. Well, it wound up being a little bit high, so I can take the razor blade there and come along on that and trim all that up nice and neat like that there. I'll go ahead and do that later and go down the house. Now it's getting time for dinner. Wife will be back from walking the dogs pretty soon with my son, and we'll go in and have some dinner, and I'll visit with her for a little while this evening. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. I'll come up later on after I'll have dinner and work on this some more. But this is not too bad here now. It's cured up enough. I can go over this with the iron and trim all this up. And I go over that leading edge with the iron and smooth it down. Finish up this, get it glued down, and then this outside edge will be ready to be smoothed down with the iron. And then I can lay out the bottom fabric. So we'll do that. I'll do that. And I got a nice the fabric's not too loose, it's not too tight. That'll all tighten up with the iron when we get ready to start heat shrinking it. And I got to think Now on that other wing, I went through with the punch and punched out holes in this false bar for water drains for the grommets. I got to decide whether I want to do that with this one or not. All right, well, that's enough for now. It's time to go get a bite to eat. What is it? 6:45.